Today I am talking about Disney Genie Plus, and Lightning Lanes. It's a lot of information. It is kind of confusing, but I think I have a good grasp on it, and I have a lot of answers and a lot of details. I was invited to attend basically an hour-long info session. Disney invited me. I've been working with them just because I'm a content creator. I get to experience things sometimes and talk about them, share them with my audience on here. So that is the extent of my partnership with them. This is not sponsored or anything. So I just got to get a sneak peek at it and ask a lot of questions. That was a really cool thing to get to do, because I personally love Disney World. I go all the time, and I got to have my questions answered. I'm also thinking about people who experience Disney differently than me, that, you know, vacation once a year, every few years, but I know I do have a lot of people that visit pretty regularly too. So Disney has already said this is an evolving thing, and that the information that I learned yesterday or that they share when it launches, I mean, things can change before it even launches, and things will probably change as they go along. This is a very candid, conversational video. I'm just going to go over my notes. We're going to talk about it, and I'm going to try and help you have a better experience when you go to the park, because this will affect everyone, whether you plan on purchasing these extras to kind of skip the line or not. Disney Genie is actually a free service, just the Disney Genie. It is in the My Disney Experience app, which you can just download if you haven't already. Within it, it's basically something that tries to optimize your plan for the day. You put in before what your interests. It takes into account things you've already planned for, like if you have dining reservations, and it goes along with you throughout the day, and it knows all this information, and via an algorithm makes a plan for you. A plan that changes through as things change. So if like a ride goes down for weather, it suggests something else. It should be really interesting. What I got to see yesterday was basically a presentation about it, and then I got to see a live demo of somebody kind of showcasing what it does, and then I got to see the behind the scenes of how it works and what they see on the tech side, and that was really neat. And then I did get to play with it myself. So I saw it, I got to see the user interface and kind of play with it. It was a little overwhelming. It's a lot on the screen because it is very information and data-based, which will ultimately really be helpful for people, I think. So even if you're not going to use Disney Genie and take all of the suggestions, it does seem to have some things that'll be helpful for everyone, just as a resource to have a better day. So I'm gonna go through my notes here. Please know that things can change. If information is different, just look before you go. Try and get the most up-to-date information at the time. Don't take everything in this video as, you know, the only answer, because this information will change over time, especially when it comes to like, you know, particulars like prices or anything. None of this is for sure. None of this is solid. This is just to help you get an idea. Disney Genie is constructed to evolve. So it has the forecasted waits today, and I think that's a really helpful thing. And also, you can chat with a CM in an app. Now, I was there with some different content creators. There were less than 10 of us in my session, and somebody asked, how long do you anticipate those waits to be? Because when I call, it's like a 2 to 3 hour wait sometimes right now, which has of course been very frustrating for all of us. And then they said online when they try to do the chat, that also just like gets too overwhelmed and turns off sometimes. So that was acknowledged, and they said it should only take minutes to get a response. So if you have a particular question, you can put it in a chat in the app in the park and get answers within minutes, is what is being advertised as of now. So we'll see how that goes, but that could turn out to be really helpful. The launch date for this is October 19th for Disney Genie Plus, and the Lightning Lanes. That could change, but as of now, that's what was shared with me yesterday. So the idea is taking information about Walt Disney World experiences, wait times, show times, and matching the guest's desire with the best available capacity. So they're aiming toward as little wait as possible. the algorithm, which is like, I think we all know what that is now, but if you don't really feel like you know what that is, it's like, I think somebody like programs like, if this happens, then that, with other information, and it's kind of like a computer like making decisions with all these equations to come together to like, basically in this case, like form a plan. That's how I'm kind of understanding it. So this is supposed to support planners, because I know some of you are like planning every minute of the day as soon as you can and come with a whole list of what is gonna be going on your trip. And then some people just show up, and I really value the people that just show up. Here's the thing, I know everything. I know a lot, I shouldn't say everything. I know a lot, and when I go with people like my family who like Disney, but they don't know everything, they don't need to know everything, and they kind of just like want to have fun without maybe doing all this research, that's really important. Like, people should just be able to like be going through town and buy a day ticket and have a good experience. And Disney has not always catered to that kind of guest with having to book things like 2 months out and stuff. So some of the things in here are going to help people who don't plan, and I'll get to that when it comes to like dining and stuff in a few minutes. They said it works like a navigation app, which I thought was interesting. So it does take into account like how far you are from things and try to not make you zigzag across the park. And I'm sure that these are all the intentions like originally, and then I'm hoping that it will get better as it goes along. So if you use it, if you happen to be here shortly after it launches and you use it and it's not great, remember that these things tend to get better over time, and sometimes there are, bumps to overcome in the beginning of any tech thing. So it does adjust for operational changes. So if a ride is like down because of weather or something, or the guest changes, like we're going to stop at the restroom, we're going to go to, we decided to eat here instead, you just can make changes within it. You can, if it suggests a ride and you don't want to go on that, you can like swap it or cancel it, and then it like recalibrates like your day and continues to suggest different things, I guess. So I'm not totally sure, but I think it's like looking like a plan for the day, and then as things change, it kind of adjusts the plan. You put in your interests, and then you can put in particular rides you want to go on, and it was like or attractions, I should say, because shows were in it as well, which is important. We love the arts. It was an 8 maximum, so you couldn't say like, I'm trying to ride everything in Magic Kingdom today. What's the best plan for me? You can put in 8, and then it makes suggestions based on that. So that'll be interesting to see if the 8 selection maximum stays or how that works. So there are 3 ways that it works. They're aiming to match the guest with relevant experiences, I guess based on what you put in the interest, but also based on using data to assign the party mix to experiences similar party mixes have liked in the past. So basically Disney is taking data. They did not explain this, but I'm assuming that it's something like this family of 4 with 2 children under 5 in the past told us in a survey that they liked the Frozen sing-along, or they really enjoyed Mine Train. So yeah, I don't even know if they can, like, I don't know the height requirement, but that's something with Disney Genie too. Actually, you can put in if you would like to see accessibility information for each ride and height requirements if those are important to you. So that's helpful, and I do think that the Disney Genie, which is a free experience, is going to help people understand things and see information that they need more easily. So the other ways that Disney Genie works is to check availability and allocate, and to just overall optimize the day. It is interesting to see Disney, which is like an entertainment company, using technology so heavily in the day experience. But they did really say yesterday that this is for people who like to plan and people who don't, and it should help people who aren't using it too, was a point that somebody brought up, if it is truly trying to keep the wait times down for people and like optimize their experience to help them get on more things, better matched experiences. Yeah, so I already said this, but you can swap and remove recommendations. I think that's really important. It has attractions, dining, and enchanting extras. There will be some things that they try and like upsell you. I did see like the personal photo pass experience. I think it's called Capture My Moment. I saw that in there with something like you could easily like check to add to your day, and then I don't know how it goes, how you like continue to plan it from there, but that was something you could add. It also has in the My Interests, I talked about the height and the accessibility. I thought that was like helpful and important. Someone asked about DAS and when that would be rolling out. And at first they weren't sure, but then they said October 19th as well, so it should be rolling out the same time as this. So this was interesting. It removes rides you've been on based on the chip in your Magic Band or park ticket. So if you went on Pirates already and that wasn't in the plan, if you like deviate from the plan that it has given you, it knows and then won't like suggest something more than once. So, I mean, I like to go on some rides over and over again if there's a low wait or something, or if I just like that ride, I'm like, yeah, let's do it again. I don't know. So it should help no matter how you experience it, based on what they've said. No matter how you like to experience the park, I do see benefits that they shared for everyone. So it fits itinerary into the time frame you'll be present before park hopping. So if you do have plans to go somewhere else in the afternoon, I don't know how you would say that in the app. I don't know if there's a place to put it in, but let's say you have a dining experience, like a reservation at Brown Derby in the afternoon, but you're at Magic Kingdom in the morning. It like knows and will fit all of your Magic Kingdom stuff into your plan before the Brown Derby. Now I'm really curious about, you know, how it knows that aside from you like having a dining reservation. And then I'm curious how things will work out with like, is it going to know how much time to give you? Because when you're park hopping, if you have an experience, you're trying to get there in time for, you know, there's the bus, there's like walking to the park, doesn't account for like, oh, I'm stopping in the shop on the way out. So there's just a lot. There's so many variables, and I'm just curious to see how it's going to work. So within it, there is the tip board, which has attractions and waits. And you can also see if the Lightning Lane is available. We're going to get to Genie Plus in just a second, but here's just more information about the Disney Genie within the My Disney Experience app. So it will tell you the times, and then it also will list on each attraction. It would say like low, I'm not sure what the real words are going to be, but it's like low, middle, high for whatever the current wait is for that attraction. So somebody asked, like, does low mean like, you know, 15 minutes or less? And it's going to be different for every ride, because it's going to tell you, oh, you want to go on Winnie the Pooh? Well, that right now it is a low wait versus like, you know, that might be like 5 minutes for that ride. But then for Rise of the Resistance, it could tell you like the wait right now is low, but based on how long that line usually is, that could be like 30 minutes for that ride. So there isn't like a standard, like if it's a low wait, that means it'll be this much. It's just based on that ride. Again, all of this can change. So the the dining tip board is another something in the app that's going to be helpful. So optimize dining reservations and ordering food in the same. So if you've searched now, you know that you can type in a restaurant and try and get a reservation for that restaurant, or you can like just look and see what's available in the area you are in at the time. Like there's a few different ways you can search for those. This is going to be helpful because you can also access a walk-up list for full, like a restaurant that did not have any reservations available. You should be able to get a walk-up that day if those are available. So it was full, no reservations, but there will be a walk-up list as well. They mentioned like having to, you know, we know a lot of these like sit-down restaurants especially fill up in the parks. There just isn't a lot of day of dining availability. They mentioned that, and that, you know, there are cancellations and stuff. So unless you're like checking the day before, the day of, which is like always a tip that I give, because you can find stuff the day of and the day before if you're like looking right in the morning, or you have to keep checking, but this should help people be able to get that the day up. And you can also mobile order like right within Disney Genie, so it's kind of like putting everything together in one spot. Really, really important. As of now, or as of yesterday when I got this information, you will be able to still go to the map and overall see all the ride wait times. Somebody mentioned that it was important to them to see that because they like to look and see, like, what are the waits at this park? Do I want to go there today? And some people like to plan like that, and I think it's really important for them to keep it, and it is a feature that's staying. The overhead map with the wait times, very important. Also, you can still make dining reservations and mobile orders the same way that you can now, because it just makes sense, because you won't always be planning your entire day. Like, it might be your arrival day or your departure day, or maybe you live an hour away and you just want to like cruise over for the afternoon, and a month from now you're going to go dine at something just at a resort. You're not planning like an entire park day, so you're able to do that as well. Genie Plus, let's talk about it. Genie Plus, as of right now, is going to be $15 per person per day. You get access to 40 plus attractions. I don't know this for sure, but from the information I was given, I think you will pay for it for the day and be able to park hop with it and use it at other parks. Do not know that for sure, but based on some Lightning Lane information, I am assuming that. A couple of little bonuses you get along with paying for Genie Plus and getting to use the Lightning Lanes. You get some augmented reality lenses, which are like filters in the app. They have like a Lady and the Tramp one, and they said they've tested it and you can use it with your dog, which is cute. But then I don't really know how that works, because your dog's not going to be in the park with you in almost all cases. So then do you get Disney Genie Plus one day and then you get access to those permanently so you can like take it home? I'm not sure how that works. And then you do get to have access to audio experiences that are 3 to 4 minutes. Nice idea. It's supposed to be like a tour, like, experience that you get when you buy the Disney Genie Plus. I don't really know. It doesn't seem to work for me, because if you have an audio thing that you were given and they said it's kind of like a tour, it's like you walk up to the ride and then you can listen to this thing. Well, how does that work for a party of 5 when it's like loud and everybody's going to listen at the same time? So you're going to like play it out loud, and then that's like disrupting other guest experience. Also, we just flew across the country and we're excited to go on this ride. Like, I don't want to stand here and listen to a thing for 5 minutes. Like, so that's not really a bonus for me. I could see how they were trying to like add other little things, but unless you're like a solo traveler just interested in getting fun facts about the rides and have headphones put in, it doesn't seem like it's really an asset. So what's cool about the Disney Genie Plus is you pay the $15 per person per day. You get to access the Lightning Lanes, which is the new Fast Pass, and then you get one at a time, and you can redeem them all day with no limit. You get to select an arrival time, and I don't know exactly how that's going to work, because the no limit and everything seems exciting, but let's remember that for the Fast Pass, you used to be able to get 3, and then if you were like a pro planner, you knew to get them in the early part of the day because you were able to add a 4th, and then once you experience that, you could add a 5th, you experience that, and you could just keep going. And this is the same way. So basically you book your first Lightning Lane experience, and then you get to do that, and then you get to get more, like 1 additional. So you experience the thing, and then you can book your next one. So to make it worth it, you're really going to have to get to the park, go on one ride that has like a low wait in that first like hour or however long before, like, that slow first hour when people are just getting in and distributing and all the rides kind of have low waits. So you're going to have to get on one ride there and then have your first Lightning Lane shortly after. You're not going to want to use it like in the morning, and like, I don't know, that doesn't seem like the best idea to me. I think the best idea would be to go on a ride without it, have a Lightning Lane around like 10 or so, and then go on that, and then get your next one. But the Genie and Genie Plus are supposed to optimize your entire day. So in theory, they'll be taking the information about the wait times throughout the day and like suggesting things based on when things are slow. But then because they're planning everyone's day, it should be dispersing people in a way that will help the park flow. It's a lot. And this is a lot of behind the scenes stuff that won't really matter for you, but if you're interested, these are like the things they shared and the questions that, you know, answers I got from my questions and stuff. So that is for the Disney Genie Plus. The extra lightning lanes. Genie Plus, when you pay that $15, will include 40 plus attractions over all Walt Disney World parks. But then there are certain attractions that are more, I guess, popular, or however they're going to determine that, that will be an additional cost for you to use the lightning lane. So let's say you go to Hollywood Studios, you buy Disney Genie Plus for the day, you would have to pay an additional price just for Rise of the Resistance. And the list I saw yesterday, it had, I think, 2 attractions at each park that were the additional cost. Now they do have different prices, and it showed even different days. So it'll be variable prices, just like the tickets. So at like peak times, they'll cost more. Rise of the Resistance, just as a model yesterday, they shared it, and like these numbers will change. The cost was on a Tuesday, $15, on a Saturday, $15. So that was the most expensive one I saw. To be honest, the wait has been like 2 hours or less, I think, since they took away the virtual queue, which is not that bad for that ride. I could not see myself paying $15, even as someone that was visiting that was like a big deal. I don't know. I just don't know. An interesting thing is you don't have to have Disney Genie Plus to buy the individual lightning lane upgrades. So you could go just do whatever you want, use the free Disney Genie or not use it at all, and purchase like one Rise of the Resistance, or Ratatouille was another one that was on there in the starting ones. And they will change, like I'm sure Guardians of the Galaxy, when that opens, will be one of these. So let's say you're going all out. The maximum you'll have is 3 charges. So it would be the Disney Genie Plus charge of $15, your first lightning lane charge, and then your second lightning lane charge. So it'll be, even if it was like the most at this time, these prices, it would be like $45, because you have a 2 maximum lightning lane limit, and you can, this is so complicated. You can park hop and use one at one park and one at another. Did I already say that part? I don't know, but it's important and I want to include it. If there is the Genie Plus and then there's only 2 per park that are they really need another, like an official name for the ones that you just buy one off. Those lightning lanes, because it is confusing. It's confusing. It'll get better as we all use it and learn it, right? But if you, what am I saying? I don't even know anymore. If you wanted to plan a day and you wanted to have fast pass access to everything in the park that has it, it is possible if you're just going to one park. So you could have the lightning lane access to everything available via the Disney Genie Plus, and then the individual, it looked like there were only 2. I don't know if it will stay that way, and you have a 2 limit that you can purchase per day. So if you stayed in the same park, you could have access to everything with a maximum cost of $45 as of now. This is a lot of phone time, and that was a concern of some people, like, do you anticipate people spending more or less time on their phone? I personally think there's no way to spend less time on your phone with this, because if it was making one plan throughout the day, you could print it out and just look at that and that'd be fine. It is not. It changes all the time. So it kind of seems like you need to keep looking at your phone to see, like, oh, this ride's down, so it's just this now. And I do feel bad for like mom or whoever is the person doing the planning and has to keep checking their phone. That's a real concern for me. I think people go to Disney and want to get away from screens. We spend like all day at our computer, we're on our tablet, we're on our phone, we're on social media. So I don't know, folks. We'll see. Hopefully, overall, my hope is that it just manages the guest flow throughout the day better, and that if you use it or not, you experience lower wait times because it disperses people and tries to help everyone and tries to help the overall park day. And that's what I'm hoping that it does. So they say that it works on cell and Wi-Fi. People talked about concerns with like outages of Wi-Fi and stuff, and it should be fine on your cell service. And it also is minimizes battery usage, and they benchmarked it against other apps. Like, they didn't say what, but like, you know, how much does this app use? Like, we're going to try and make it comparable to other apps that you might be on throughout the day. So some of the questions I asked were, how will you be educating guests? And the answer was, it doesn't look like there's a, you know, there's not a big like online effort or anything. Who knows, there might be some informational videos that the company releases, but as of now, it's going to be in the park, and it does look pretty intuitive. So I don't think it's a huge concern, especially if you watch this video or just read a little about it on the parks blog, or, you know, just see the couple of things that you need to know. Are people operating it behind the scenes? I asked. No, it is an algorithm, but they do like review the data and outlying things that like may happen. So something comes up, and I think the example was they suggested someone go on a ride they had already been on, and then they would like, you know, do whatever they do to fix that kind of thing and try and help people better. Will there be people in the park to help? Yes, the guest experience team in the blue shirts will, you know, they have thousands of people getting trained on this right now that will help people. So this is really long, so I'm not going to offer a whole lot of thoughts on it. I think you kind of know where I'm at. Like, I'm not a person that's going to be buying the Genie Plus. Like, I go all the time. I do want to try it, and there will be times when I have people visiting who are going to have it, and I'm going to need to get it so that I can have a full experience with them. And that's when I really anticipate seeing myself use it as somebody who goes all the time. For the other waits that are like longer, you know, and the individual lightning lanes, like, I just don't see myself buying those. It's not worth it to me. You know, I guess when you buy a ticket, you are getting access to go in and then go on all the stuff, but the skipping the line part is not, you know, that was an included thing, but now it's not. So I don't know. We're just gonna all find out together when this launches. I do like the idea of Disney being able to recommend things to people like, hey, you said you wanted to go on this ride and right now it's a low wait, or right, you know, you said you wanted to go on this ride and we know that it's typically slow at 3. You know, maybe they didn't select that parades were important, and I don't know. I think just knowing what the person wants to do and the times that are the best times to do that based on the information that they have can be really helpful. So we'll see. There's so much. If you have any questions that you think I might be able to answer, I really told you everything I know, but you can go ahead and leave it below if you want. I'm also going to link to the parks blog, and I'm sure Disney will have more information here and there about it, and hopefully some sort of, you know, page in the app with answers to like the different limits and the different things you can and can't do. So that's all. This was super long. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you don't already. I have lots of fun in Orlando. I love sharing it. I love helping people have better trips and just keeping up to date on what's going on at the parks, mostly Disney World, but I like to do lots of fun different things around Orlando. I am also on Instagram and Twitter as Sparkly Nicole, and I hope to see you there. Have a magical day.